Hi everyone, today I want to talk about the benefits of including STEM in an early childhood classroom. When people hear the word STEM, they may picture complicated experiments, coding, or even advanced math. However, STEM in an early childhood classroom looks much different. It can be as simple as children mixing colors, observing a plant, figuring out which object is heavier, comparing which object is heavier, and figuring out how to stop a toy car from rolling off of a ramp. Young children are naturally curious, they constantly ask questions, and they want to understand how things work. According to research, young children are capable of making observations, developing predictions, and completing simple investigations, and later discussing what they discover. STEM gives them these meaningful opportunities to use those natural abilities while developing critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills. STEM can also be adapted to support children at different developmental levels. For example, one child might explain a prediction verbally, while another might point to a picture. Another might have to draw an idea or demonstrate using materials. A child who needs additional support may work with a partner or use larger, easier to handle materials. Multilingual learners can participate through hands-on exploration, visual supports, gestures, and conversations with classmates. There's not only one correct way for children to participate. Of course, families may have some concerns. One concern is that STEM will place too much academic pressure on young children. However, appropriate early childhood STEM is not based on worksheets, memorization, or testing. It is playful, it is active, and connected to children's everyday experiences. Families may also hear the word technology and assume that means more screen time. Technology doesn't always mean tablets or computers. It can be a magnifying glass, a measuring cup, flashlight, camera, balance scale. These are all considered tools that help children investigate and solve problems. Another concern is that STEM may take time away from literacy, art, or social emotional learning. In reality, these areas can easily be taught together. Research that's been reviewed shows that early childhood STEM activities are often cross-curricular. During one STEM activity, children may read a short story, draw a plan, count materials, work with classmates, and explain their thinking. They're practicing language, math, creativity, cooperation, and science all at the same time. STEM also connects naturally with inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning begins with a question or a problem instead of the teacher immediately giving the child the answer. Children make predictions, explore materials, test their ideas, and discuss what happened. The teacher guides the learning by asking questions such as, what do you notice? Why do you think that happened? Or what can we try differently? Research found that integrated STEM activities can promote inquiry through active learning and real-life problem solving. These experiences also develop important 21st century skills, including communication, collaborating, creativity, critical thinking, and perseverance. Children learn that if their first idea doesn't work, they can make a change and try again. One classroom example would be asking children to create a shelter that keeps a toy animal dry. Children could use or choose materials, make predictions, test the shelter with a spray bottle, and improve if it gets water inside. Another activity could involve testing which classroom objects sink or float. Children could predict the results, test each object, sort what they discover, and create a graph. A third example would be growing plants under different conditions. Children could observe and measure the plants, draw changes in a journal, and discuss what plants need to grow. Families can also support STEM at home without purchasing any special materials. While cooking, children can measure ingredients and notice how foods change. Families can also make a ramp from cardboard and test which toy car travels the farthest. They can also take a walk and collect leaves, rocks, or other safe objects to compare and sort by size, color, shape, or texture. That one I love to do in the beginning of the year because that's when the changes in leaves come in the fall. The most important part is asking the children what they notice and encourage them to explain their thinking. Overall, early STEM education is not about expecting young children to understand advanced science or math. It is about giving them these opportunities to be curious, to ask questions, to solve problems, and learn through hands-on experiences. When STEM is playful and inclusive, every child can participate and begin to see themselves as a capable thinker and a problem solver. Thank you.